Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cozy Soul Knitting Podcast. I'm Saoirse, and in this knitting podcast we pretty much do the traditional format. I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing, what I have finished recently, what I've been working on, or what I still am working on, and I have a few acquisitions, and we might also chat about some future plans, some future gift knitting, and kind of, yeah, maybe like my plans for the rest of the year, I guess, because it is like, it's almost Thanksgiving. It's the week of Thanksgiving. So yeah, we're rapidly approaching the end of the year, and I still have so much I want to get done before that happens. So before we get started, I did want to say thank you to those of you who commented or reached out after my last podcast. If you watched it, you know I've been going through a little bit of a life change, and I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who left some kind comments. Just wanted to thank you for being so supportive, and you know, those of you who also shared that you've dealt with something similar. That was just, yeah, it was nice to hear that, you know, other people have been through this and gone through it, and so yeah, it was just really nice to hear from you and just had the, you know, those positive vibes sent my way. So thank you for that, and I appreciate you all. And yeah, things are pretty good. I'll just give you that as an update. Things are pretty good, still figuring things out, but everything is good, and I have been knitting a lot. So I mean, that's never a bad thing, I feel like, personally. So yeah, so just lots of knitting. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I last filmed a podcast, and I kind of want to say that, yeah, it's almost maybe exactly, because I think today's Tuesday, and I think I filmed like 2 Mondays ago or something along those lines. So yeah, and if you are new here to my channel, welcome. I hope you hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this type of content. I am a knitter from the Seattle, Washington area of the United States. It is Thanksgiving here in the States in 2 days, because today is Tuesday. What's the actual... I should know this. Yeah, it's the 21st. And in 2 days it is Thanksgiving, so sorry, I had to take a quick break to try to get, there was either fiber or like a flake of mascara getting into my eye. So I'm not really sure what I was saying, but it is Thanksgiving this week in the States. So if you are in the States, I hope you at least have some time off. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you get some time off. And if you're not in the States, I hope you have an upcoming holiday soon, or have had some time off to, you know, from school or jobs or whatever, to hang out with your family or friends or get some extra knitting time in. But yeah, my plan for this week is just to hang out with my family. My brother is a chef, thankfully, so I don't have to cook. I just get to make requests, like, yes, I must have mashed potatoes, apple pie. I'm not really a pumpkin pie person, so I like to get an apple pie. And I have to have those Pillsbury crescent rolls for Thanksgiving. Those are my only requirements: apple pie, mashed potatoes and gravy, and the crescent rolls. Oh, and Martinelli's apple cider, because I'm not a huge wine drinker. So that's my Thanksgiving. We're not even doing a turkey this year because we never, who needs, I don't know. We're a family of 4. We don't need a whole turkey. And I don't eat turkey like that when it's prepared that way, because I see the turkey looking like a turkey and with the bones and everything, and then I can't eat it later because it just kind of freaks me out. So I've never really been a big turkey Thanksgiving person. So it leaves 3 people in my family to eat the turkey, and then they get a whole turkey and they're like, oh shit, we're just eating turkey for like the next while. So this year we're not doing a turkey, which is probably for the best, because, you know, we don't eat it. But we're doing something else, some other meat that I probably also won't eat, because I think it's pork, and I'm also not a big pork person. So I don't know why any of this matters. Let me know what your Thanksgiving, if you have Thanksgiving traditions or anything like that. Let me know. Fall traditions that you like to do. Or what your favorite Thanksgiving dish is. Yeah, and that's all I have really going on right now is just knitting. Been doing some writing. I have a vlog coming for you soon, so if you like knitting vlogs or just vlogs in general, there should be one up hopefully soon. They take me a while to edit, so apologies that they're not quicker. Anyways, let's talk about what I'm wearing. This is the Semper sweater. It is a pattern by the Knit Purl Girl, and let me think about what I want to talk about with this. I think this is the first time I'm wearing it on the podcast, so if you've been watching the podcast, you've seen me, cast it on. It was on the needles for a while, because I cast it on over summer, and it wasn't like a priority to finish it. It's looking a little frumpled, probably, a little rumpled, frumpled, wrinkly, whatever term you want to use. You can see where I've like pushed it. I like push it up to I do this all the time, so it's like wrinkled. I hope you don't mind. I don't really know. I need to do some more research on like how to properly care for my knits, because I feel like I'm like, as long as they don't smell, I just wear them, even though they need a little refresh. I'm not sure how to refresh them, and I don't want to like fully block it again. So I don't know if I should invest in like a steam blocker thing, or a steam blocker. That's a steamer, I think is just what it's called, not a steam blocker. I know you can steam block things, but I don't think it's called a steam blocker. I think it's just a steamer. I don't know. One of those things, those like handheld, like little, anyways. Yeah, it's a little wrinkled. It's pilling. This is a very soft yarn combination, which I probably should have told you earlier. It is Knitting for Olive, Merino silk, and soft silk. Yeah, soft silk mohair. And the colorway I used for both of those is Hazel. And yeah, it's really nice. It's super soft. I don't find it at all itchy. Like, not even on my neck, not where it's touching bare skin. Like, I can't feel it. I mean, like, I can feel it, but like, I don't think about it, or it doesn't irritate me at all. And I've been wearing this, so like, it's called the Semper sweater because Semper, I believe, means always. I'm pretty sure. And so it's just meant to be like an everyday sweater that you just throw on all the time. And that's exactly what this has become for me. I would 100% knit this again. I think it's a really nice simple raglan, and I think I want to try like other simple raglans and kind of find like my go-to pattern for when I just have yarn and a sweater quantity's worth of like yarn, and I'm not really quite sure what to do with it, and I just want to cast on like a simple sweater, raglan sweater type thing. I want to find like my go-to pattern, but this is definitely a contender. I had a really good time knitting it. I love this yarn combination. I would definitely knit with that again. Despite the pilling, I don't really care. It probably like doesn't look great. Probably, I don't know. If I were to like wear this out, would people judge me for I don't know if you're supposed to pick it off like this. Is this bad for the fabric? I don't know. I need to look at like how to properly depill. I also don't know too, because I've heard, and you can let me know if this is true or not, or if you've heard it too, but I've heard that like when you first knit something, you kind of have like wow, so the tongue twister, you kind of have an initial pilling as the fabric is like settling, I don't know, and then it might not pill as much later. Like once you depill it the first time, it might like settle and not do it as much later. I don't know if that goes for all yarn combinations or what, and I don't even know if you guys can see it, but it's definitely mostly pilling just like in this area, which is where, it's rubbing on things, rubbing together, all that stuff. So I don't really care. I know other people talk a lot about pilling, and that's why I'm talking about it, but I honestly don't care. And yeah, I mean, yeah, this is a well-loved sweater already, and it will continue to be one. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And I think that's all I really need to say about it. I mean, I've talked on the podcast about it already, so yeah, I don't think I need to say anymore. But it is the first time well, I did kind of wear it in a podcast because I like put in an extra clip while I was talking about it and I was wearing it during that. But I don't think I've like worn it for like a whole podcast. So, yeah, anyways, it's just really useful sweater to have. So yeah, I really like it. It's probably my most favorite sweater I've knit so far, except for the Lanark. I feel like the Lanark is its own category. But yeah, of all my other sweaters, this is definitely the one I wear most and the one that I feel like turned out the best, I guess. Okay. I definitely have some mohair in my nose now, I think, from like pulling off the pills, the little, whatever they're called. Let's talk about finished objects. I only have one today to share with you, and it's a small one, but a very exciting one. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know what it is, if you even see my Instagram posts. So I have finished my socks that I was working on. So I have worn them already one time, so it wasn't for very long, but I did wear them, so it's not like fresh off the blocking mats. But yeah, I knit just your basic vanilla sock. Let me kind of hold it up close here so you can see. So I did a 2x2 ribbed cuff and just your basic heel. This is what they look like. Whee. Okay, so this colorway is one of my most favorites that I've like ever worked with, that I've ever seen. Like, so this yarn is from a sock set from Potions and Purls. She has an Etsy shop. I will leave it linked down below. The last time I looked, she had like 3 of these sock sets left in stock. I don't know if she continues to dye up the same colorways or if it's kind of a once they're gone type of thing. I have seen a lot of the same colorways though in her shop from like when I last looked at it and when I purchased like 3 sock sets, and they were all on the site when I went like a couple days ago and looked at it. I was gonna try and look at the yarn and kind of tell you if it's like a 2-ply or a 4-ply. I don't know. I can't tell from looking. I'm not good with that type of thing, but this is how much I had left over from the sock set, so I might be able to do, you know, another like shorty sock set or something with this yarn. I'll have to weigh it and like see how much I have left, but yeah, I just followed the Crazy Sock Lady Magic Loop tutorial along with her. She has a tutorial for like how to do contrasting cuffs and heels and toes, and I just kind of followed that when I needed to. I didn't do the toe because I wasn't sure if I would have enough. I feel like I would have, because like this is a good amount, a decent amount. So I could have, but I didn't. I was a little nervous. And then what else to say about it? One of the socks I actually knit, somehow I knit a little too small for my foot. Like it was like maybe like a 1/2 inch too short. After blocking, it's fine. Like they fit. They're a little snug, but they fit. Or at least the one that's a little smaller fits snugly. And then I knit the other one to the right length. I don't know. Some people, I feel like when they mess up on one sock, they like make the other one match. But I just was like, I don't know, I'd rather just have the one, like I'll just stretch it out or something, I don't know, and have the other one be correct. That made more sense to me personally. But yeah, so yeah, I knit the second one to the proper length, and then with blocking, I feel like they're good, they're okay. I think my next pair of socks I make for myself, I might knit them just a little bit longer than even the longest of the socks I did. So like the one that I did to the right length, I might even knit it just like 1/4 of an inch longer just to be safe. It's weird because my last pair of socks, yeah, wow, I'm like tripping over my words. So my last pair of socks, I did an afterthought heel, and it was like perfect. Like the length was perfect, and yeah, the fit was amazing. So that's just funny to me that I feel, because that was harder, I feel like, for me to like figure out where to put the heel in this type of, you know, this heel flap that I did. I've done it before, so you would think I would be able to get it right on these socks more easily than I would have been able to get it right on the afterthought heel. But no, for some reason, I don't know. I must have just gotten too excited and kind of like went to go do the toe without like realizing that I still had a little bit more I needed to knit. Anyways, so I would definitely recommend these sock sets if you like the colorways. I think they're really pretty. This yarn is softer. I think it's an 80/20, and I don't know if it's a 4-ply or a 2-ply. I know people have their favorites. So if you go to her, I'm sure the information is on her Etsy listings. So if you go to her Etsy and you look and it's a type of yarn that you love working with, then I think you're going to really like these sock sets. I have 2 more in my stash. They're up here, you can't see them, but I'm really excited to knit up more from her sock sets. And yeah, I think her name's Wendy from Potions and Purls, I believe, and I think that she is based out of Rhode Island. I think that's what I saw on the Etsy site, but yeah, so if you want a new hand dyer that you would like to try out or support, I would recommend, because these are stunning. Let me just, while we're on the subject, let me just pull the other 2 colorways in case you're new here and you haven't seen them. I definitely had them in a podcast before when I acquired them, but let me show you again. This one and, nope, this one. Okay, so they actually are 4-ply because it says it. So these are, okay, I lied a little bit. Yes, hold on. They are not 80/20, they are 85/15 with superwash, yes, and they are 4-ply. If that matters to you, if you're someone who has a preference on that, I feel like I personally don't. As of right now, I don't know if I like 4-ply or 2-ply better, or, you know, 75/25, 80/20, I don't really know yet, but these are the other colorways that I have. This one right here is Fall Romance. I did see this still on her Etsy if you want to check it out. And then this one is the Enchanted sock set, and this has stellina in it. So this one is 80 superwash merino, 15% nylon, and then 5% stellina. So I don't know if it's showing up. I'm not sure if you can see it. I just feel like it's like too, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's there. And these are beautiful, and I really wanted to knit the fall ones during fall, but you know, it's a little too late for that, and by the time I get done with gift knitting, it's going to be fully winter, and so I think I'll save these. It doesn't matter, but I don't know. I want to knit these ones in spring, and I want to knit these ones in fall, so I think I'll save these for next fall, and this one I will knit this spring, unless I just end up knitting through all of my sock sets, then I'll knit this one whenever. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase those because I think that they're super beautiful, and they knit up so nicely. And yeah, these ones, they are very soft. I'm a little worried that they're going to like wear, but I don't know. We'll have to test it out. I will report back to you on it. But I honestly don't think that, like, I think the other socks that I have will probably also wear really quickly because I feel like, I don't know, they weren't maybe as soft as these, but I don't know. I'm just like, you know, I feel like, you know, socks, sometimes they're gonna wear out. I just feel like that's the nature of them. So, okay. Let's go ahead and talk about my whips now because that was my only finished objects, and those socks took me, I casted them on in like August, I think. And they took me a while to finish because I kept, oh, that was something else I wanted to say was, yeah, so that was just like a project that I was picking up in between other projects, and I never like prioritized it until like, when was this? Maybe last week or so, because I was like, I have half a sock left. Like, I need to just sit down and finish this. This is ridiculous. And then literally then, like, I was thinking that, and then the next day I was watching Kalilah from Handmade with Kay, and she was literally like almost in the exact same spot of her socks that she had been working on, and she was literally like, you need to just, like, she was talking to herself, but she was like, you need to finish these socks. And I was like, it felt like she was talking to me. I was like, okay, I will finish them. So yeah, that was kind of a little funny thing that I feel like is actually why I finished them, because yeah. So yeah, I just feel like I just needed a little reminder that it's okay to prioritize the socks, to get them done occasionally. Okay, so to start off our whips, I have more socks to talk about. This is my first one of this pair, and I'm on the gusset decreases, so like my magic loop is looking very crazy, and I feel like it's gonna be hard to show you what's going on here, but I'm doing like a shorty pair. This is the weirdest sock I've ever made. I've never done a pattern sock before, and I really like want to. And this one I honestly would kind of still consider it to be like a vanilla sock, but it is a 3x1 ribbed sock, and not really following a pattern. I'll explain in a minute what I mean by that, but I'm just doing 3x1 rib. I didn't do like a cuff. Like, this looks like it's kind of a cuff, but it's just like the leg. I didn't do anything different on it. It's just from cast on edge to where I started the heel, it's 3x1. And I cast it on 64 stitches, and then I've done the heel flap and the heel turn, but I'm doing the gusset decreases now, so that's why this is looking all crazy. And I'm going to continue the 3x1 rib on the top of the foot, and obviously not on the bottom. And yeah, let me talk real quickly about the yarn, and then I'll talk a little bit about the pattern. So this is hand-dyed yarn from Coastal Yarns, which is a yarn shop down in Cannon Beach, Oregon. If you are ever on the Oregon coast, make sure you go to Coastal Yarns. It's such a cute little shop. They have Noro, they've got Blue Sky Fibers, they have Earth yarns, like URTH. They also have their own hand-dyed yarn, which is what this is. This is their Sneaker Waves, like stock base yarn, and the color is Oswald West, which I believe, if I am remembering this correctly, I'm pretty sure it's either the name, it's like the name of the park, or like the beach that there's a little like state park, I believe, south of Cannon Beach called Oswald West. If I'm recalling correctly, I could be totally wrong on this, but you can like go on hikes there and then also go to the beach there as well, I'm pretty sure. Again, could be wrong. Could be mixing that up with something else. But anyways, I didn't see this colorway on their site when I looked, because I couldn't remember what the colorway was, so I was looking online today and I couldn't find it. So I'm not sure if they still make this. I have another skein of it, and yeah, so I might be making a lot of socks with this colorway, but yeah, this one is a gift from my mom. So she already knows about it. So if she's watching the podcast, I told her a while ago not to watch the podcast, because then if I make her something, it'll spoil it. But I don't think she was listening to me, so I gave up on that, and I'm not gonna try and surprise her with knits, because she also sees me knitting all of this stuff anyways, so I feel like it wouldn't be really a surprise. But yeah, so she wanted a, not as much of a leg on the sock, so that's why I did more of a It's like 30 rounds. 30 rounds of the rib before I started the heel. And then I just want to show you guys close up. This colorway, and with like combined with the 3x1, it is just creating such a cool little like, I don't know, it just like kind of looks striped but like not quite, and it's kind of got like a diagonal thing going on here that I really like. I think it just looks really cool. And then I don't know, again, I don't know if the camera is really like picking it up, but I'm trying to, there's a section, there's like parts where there's like this really beautiful, like there's almost a green and like a little bit of a, not a, like a, just a hint of red in here at times. Really cool. And yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think it's such a, I would not have picked this if I just seen it like in the Hink at the store. I wouldn't have picked it, but my mom picked it out. Actually, one of these skeins my mom had bought, and then I was like worried. I think I talked about this in a podcast already. I was worried that I wouldn't have enough yarn because it's only 300 something yards, and I just looked at the end of like what the Crazy Sock Lady vanilla sock pattern calls for, just like the end of it, which is for like obviously people with like bigger feet sizes, larger feet size, larger foot sizes, larger sock size, whatever. When you're knitting bigger socks, you need more yarn. That's what I'm trying to say. And obviously if I'm knitting, well, maybe not obviously because you can't see my feet, but I have pretty small feet. My mom also has fairly small feet. So we're obviously not knitting, you know, like if I'm knitting socks for her, I didn't need a second skein of yarn, but I didn't think about that. So they still had it there at the time, so we bought another skein of it and realized later, I was like, I didn't need to do that. I'm bad with numbers. Okay. What else to say about this? Oh yeah, so the pattern that I'm kind of following is I just searched and a Ravelry one popped up and it was like free pattern, and it just, you know, and like in the description, I didn't even like download it before I cast it on. I just like, because in the description of the pattern it says like cast on 64 stitches. It's a free pattern, and I conceptually understood how to knit like a vanilla sock with like a pattern, if that, like how to do a sock with a pattern, but you're just doing like the heel flap and gusset and all of that stuff like the same as you would a vanilla sock. So like I conceptually knew how to do it, so I was like, I don't need the pattern. But then I was like, oh, it might be nice to have kind of just like the number of like stitches, like how many times you're supposed to repeat for the heel flap and all of that. But then when I was going to pick up the gusset stitches, I could not pick up as much as the pattern called for. So I don't know if that's going to mess things up later, but I'm just gonna wing it. Because I think that this sock is going to end up being slightly too big for my mom anyways, but I also wasn't sure because she's like kind of a wider foot. It's still very small, like lengthwise, but she's like a wider, you know, foot, and so I just was like worried that that's why I did the 3x1 rib, because it's like it'll accommodate if it's, you know, it'll be okay if it's a little too small because it'll stretch. And then it, you know, it'll just, if it's the right size, it won't stretch as much, right? So like, yeah, it just makes it easier for it to fit her. And then I'll go from there for like the next pair of socks I knit for her once I get like a better feel of like how they fit her. But yeah, so anyways, I'm hoping these will knit up pretty quickly since I'm not doing the full, you know, leg like with the other socks. Like I'm only doing the shorty, so, or I don't even know if this is considered shorty, like, because I also feel like I could have like halved this and it's still, then it would have been a shorty, you know? Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. But this is a gift knit, hoping to have it ready by Christmas, and I just wanted to, I was over at my parents' house and I had brought this yarn over with me and I didn't bring the other yarn that I'll talk about when we get to future plans. So when I was like, oh, I need to cast on a new sock, this is like, I was like, oh, I have to cast on the one for my mom because it's the only yarn that I brought. And realistically, I should probably be gift knitting the other ones first because my mom will understand if I don't finish hers like right on time. And not that other people wouldn't understand, but I think yeah, it'll be harder to like gift them stuff after Christmas. So I should try to get theirs first. I should probably try to get theirs done first and then work on my mom's, but still. And then my next whip is one that does not have very much progress on it. And this will probably be the last time you see it for a little bit. I think I'm gonna be kind of putting it into hibernation until next fall. I might work on it like a little bit more this week because it does fit the vibe of this week, but I feel like after Thanksgiving I'm gonna be in a Christmas mood, and I kind of just don't know that I'll want to work on this out of season. Again, I totally could, and I still might work on it when it's not autumn, but like that'll be if I am really just craving color work and I don't have any other color work projects currently to work on. I'll gravitate towards this and maybe do a few motifs on it, but I do kind of want to save it for next autumn. This is the Autumn Doodle Cowl. It is a pattern by Pacific Knit Co. And I can't really show you very well because it's still, I haven't made very much progress on it, but it is rolling up on itself. But I had to show you, okay, let's just get close. I had to show you the little ghosties. I thought I messed up for a second, but I don't think I did. It's just like the tension on some of the stitches aren't as good as the others, but yeah, these are my little ghosties. So super cute, and yeah, so definitely got a little bit crazy with my tension here a little bit, but I think it's fine. Anyways, the yarn that I'm using for this is a bundle from Moonglow Yarn Co. And this was, I don't think it's available anymore, but it was available, it was the Haunted Rose Garden, I believe. I'm having a lot of fun doing this color work, or I was. I didn't work on it a ton, and again, it's gonna go into hibernation, I'm pretty sure. I might pull it out occasionally to work on it, but I'll probably prioritize it maybe in August of next year. I might like bring this back out and prioritize it like leading into autumn, because I'm going to be craving autumn at that point, so that'll be like a nice thing, and then I'll have it like ready to go. Like it'll get finished, and then I can still have time to wear it in autumn. Again, not that it really matters, like I don't need to knit things seasonally, but sometimes I want to. Okay, I'm pretty sure I only have 2 whips left to talk about, at least this time around. My Geo Gradient shawl has been put away for a bit. I was really excited for Clue 3, and then I just had all these other things come in, like gift knitting, a test knit, like I've just got other things that I want to work on more. So I have kind of made the decision to put that away for now. I'll come back to it maybe the beginning of next year, but I think for the rest of the year I'll probably, yeah, it might not be getting worked on, which is so sad because I'm so excited for Clue 3, but I needed to focus in a little bit more on my whips and then also make a little bit of room for gift knitting. Let's talk about my current test whip. So, test knit whip, whatever. Okay, it's so big. Let me make sure I'm showing you like the right side here. So this is the Never sweater. It's so big. It is, oh, it's so oversized. It's freaking glorious. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you guys. I feel like it doesn't fit in the frame. This is the Never Sweater by Kalilah, aka KopyKali. I will leave her YouTube channel and her Instagram link down below. And it's just so good. I love it. I cannot wait to wear this. I tried it on the other day, and I'll maybe put a clip. I took a clip for like the vlog, so maybe I'll pop that in here. And it's perfect. Like I can just tell it's gonna be the perfect like amount of oversized, and I'm just obsessed. So right now where it's at, it's currently long enough that it's hitting my waist. Like, no, not my waist. It's hitting my hips. So I probably have like anywhere from like 3 to 5 more inches, 6 more inches maybe. Because I want it to go over my butt. So I don't know. I feel like there's not, because I forget, I can't remember what the ribbing, like the amount of ribbing that's for the body. So I'm not sure how much that adds, but I want the ribbing to kind of hit right after my butt. Like, I don't know. I just want it to go over my booty so that it's just, everything's covered. I can wear it and just be cozy. And oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. And then I feel like the sleeves, like I feel like the sleeves are just gonna fly because they're gonna be so much bigger. So like, I don't think I'm gonna have to do magic loop. I haven't actually looked at I forget if there's decreases in this. I think there's some, because yeah, otherwise I think it would be too big. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have to use magic loops. I just feel like it's gonna go really quick. So I don't know, just like, I'm so excited to finish this. And like I said, I think in my last podcast, like test knitting has been so much fun. This is my first test knit and it's just been so much fun and I've really been enjoying it. And like I'm obviously obsessed with this color. I'm obsessed with so many of the versions that people are making. Like I just feel like every single one I see, I'm like, ooh, that would be a nice color to have this in. Like just like wanting this in every color. I think this would be my go-to raglan sweater like I was talking about, but because of the fact it's oversized, I don't think I could actually knit that many, and it does require obviously more yarn than like a, you know, obviously more of a closer fitting garment would need. So yeah. So I'd like to find, like for oversized raglan, like this will be my go-to if, you know, not if I want to knit another one, when. It's definitely a when. I don't know. What? It's definitely going to be a when I want another one, not an if. Like I definitely will knit this again. Because just having a few of these like oversized sweaters will be amazing. But I'm still looking for like my go-to, like more truer to size type of raglan. But I guess I could, ooh. Well, that's a thought. I could just knit this in a smaller size. Why did that not occur to me? So there's a thought. I could just also knit this in a smaller size. Yeah, so I don't know. This is just beautiful. I love it so much. I don't think I talked about the raglan detail, which I feel like you have to talk about. It's a 6-stitch raglan, so it just, I don't know. I hope the camera is picking it up, but you can just see, like, it's just so cute. I love it. While I'm on the podcast with you guys, while we're here, I want to take this stitch marker out and move it to where I'm currently at, so that when I come back and show you, we'll be able to look at like how much I did. And I have a progress keeper right here that I've been using for like day-to-day tracking, though this was all yesterday, I believe. I didn't do any work on it today, so I haven't moved it, but I think I'm just going to, I'll just kind of throw it in here. But I just thought it would be fun to kind of like, in the next podcast, like look and see how much more of the body I did. And this one here won't move, but this one here will be my day-to-day. And these are from the same, if you couldn't tell, they're from the same stitch marker set, and I really love it. If I can find it on Etsy, I will leave it linked down below. I forget where I bought it from, but definitely on Etsy. Anyways, the Never sweater. I think it's coming out sometime in January. I forget the exact date. I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, I didn't talk about the yarn. My bad. The yarn that I'm using is Drops Flora with their Kid Silk Mohair. in the shade Petrol. I think, yeah, yep. So it's a really nice combo in my personal opinion. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely not as soft as this combo, but still pretty nice. I like it. Hoping to have the body done and maybe, I don't know if this is too ambitious, but by the next podcast, I would love to have the body done plus like one of the sleeves, or at least like halfway through the sleeve. I don't know if that's too ambitious, but whatever. I'm gonna go for it. My next whip is the Dornie, and I apologize, this is bunched up on a cable pretty bad, and I was trying to figure out, I don't know if this set of Licca Cypher needles comes with 2 longer cords or if it only came with 1. If it only came with 1, the big one is on my Never sweater, which makes sense because that is a lot bigger than this sweater, but I don't seem to have a second larger cord for this to go onto, so it's bunched up on, you know, a not big enough cord, and it's kind of hurting my hands now. So I might have to really work on finishing the body of the Never sweater so I can steal that cord for this, because yeah, these stitches are really bunched up and it's kind of hurting my hands a little bit. But also part of me, I've just really been enjoying working on this, and I think once I split for sleeves, it might not be as bad, potentially. So I'm not sure, and anyways, this is it. This is the Dornie, and I can't really give you a good sense of the shape of it because, as you can see, it is bunched on that cable. So, and if I was a good podcaster, I would have put it on a try-on cable, but I did not. Anyways, I took a Instagram picture of this, I feel like when I was like maybe like right here or so, maybe like here. And that was like a couple days ago, I think. And I have been working on it, I feel like non-stop, except for working a little bit on the Never sweater and a little bit on the sock that I showed you. And this, yeah, I'm less than 10 rows from splitting for sleeves. So I am very excited for this. This has just been such a fun knit. It looks weird right now because there's no collar. It's not split for sleeves. It's like, what even is this? It's all bunched on the cable. But I've been having such a fun time with these cables. I feel like they're working out pretty beautifully. I would say my cable technique probably could use a little bit of improvement, but overall I think it looks pretty nice, and it's not as see-through as I was thinking it would be based off my swatch, which is nice. I was a little worried there because I was having trouble hitting gauge. So I did go up a size in the pattern because I couldn't hit gauge. But yeah, I think that's fine. And I mean, I might have been able to hit gauge if I kept going up a needle size, but then I felt like the fabric it was creating was going to be too like gapey and loose, and I didn't really like the look of that. So I chose to just go up a size. So we'll see how that works out. Once I split for sleeves, I will be, you know, trying to kind of try this on, make sure it's going to fit me, and if it doesn't, then not sure. Not sure if I'll just rip it back completely and start over, or see if maybe like I can keep going and just like keep going with the pattern and just make it bigger. I don't know. Because it is a raglan, so I feel like, you know, potentially I could just keep going. I don't know. But I think it's gonna be okay. And yeah, so my goal is to, by the end of this week, have the yoke done, like have it split for sleeves, and just be working, you know, have the increases done and just be working on the body. But that depends on if it fits after I try it on. So anyways, I'm on my second skein of the West Yorkshire Spinners Aran Jacob yarn. Yes, the West, oh, I just dropped the ball. It's a West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece 100% British wool Jacob Aran weight yarn, and this is in the shade Ecru or Ecru, I forget how to say it. And this is a pretty, I mean, I guess it's pretty rustic feeling. It doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel like, it feels definitely like rustic, but it doesn't, it's not like, not in a bad way. Like I like it, so. I don't know, we'll see. This is my first time I feel like knitting up a sweater in a more rustic wool. I feel like most of my other ones have been pretty soft or, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever knit in a rustic wool, like a sweater before in a rustic wool. I think this is my first time, but I like it. I don't know. So that's that whip. I don't think, did I say it's by Rebecca? I feel like some of the times with Rebecca's patterns, I just am like, I assume everyone knows who I'm like talking about because I really like her pattern, so I'm like, I just kind of assume that everyone already knows. But yes, it's by Rebecca Clow, aka the Creabea. I will also leave her channel link down below if for some reason you don't already watch her podcast. Okay, I think that's everything. I think that's all my whips. So future plans, obviously, I have some gift knitting to do, and so I really plan on kind of trying to speed through those socks for my mom. I'm also going to be casting on a pair of socks for my sister, and then I have the yarn for that. This is what I knit, I believe, yeah. This is what I knit my first pair of socks with, and I just thought, I don't know, I'm pretty sure she likes purple and like pinks and stuff, and so I was thinking this would be a nice colorway, and then I don't have to buy more yarn, and if they don't end up fitting her very well, it's also, this yarn was from Knit Picks, so it wasn't terribly expensive if, you know, they don't end up really working out for her. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be casting on probably next, get those socks casted on for her. I might also make these a shorty set, just because, no, I'll probably make them a full 60. I'm probably going to literally just knit this exactly like this, but with no contrasting color. So 60 rows for the legs, and I have her foot measurements already, so yeah, I'm gonna cast that on. I have yarn that is not up here actually. I think I already put it in a project bag to get it all ready to go. I'm going to be casting on a hat for my dad, but originally I was going to cast on the classic ribbed hat by Purl Soho, but I honestly don't feel like doing a whole 1x1 ribbed hat. So there was a different one by Purl Soho. I was literally just watching a Knit California video on like gift knits, and she had so many hat recommendations, and I forget what it was called, but there was another one from Purl Soho that I wanted to knit. Let me look it up because I feel like you should just know what it is. It is the Purl Soho classic cuffed hat. So the cuff is in like, I don't know if it's 1x1 rib or, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this one though. It doesn't really, it has a baby size, a kid size, and an adult size, and the adult size doesn't seem like it would fit a man's head. Not that I am an expert, but I'm like, I don't even know if that would fit my head. So I might have to keep looking. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that one, because yeah, I think I might have to stick to the classic ribbed hat, and I'm going to be knitting it in, what is it called? I think I might have already talked about this in a podcast, but it is the Lions brand Vanna's Choice yarn, and it was like a midnight blue shade or something. I don't have it with me, but I do have it. Sorry, I had to like stand up on, I'm sitting on like an ottoman, and I had to like stand up and grab from the very top shelf. So this is the yarn. I do have some. I bought like 3 of these because the pattern when I knit it with this yarn before needed just over 1 skein, and then they had like, Amazon was doing this weird thing where you could buy 1 skein or you could buy 3, like a bundle of 3, and it was cheaper to buy 3 than it was to buy 2. So I just bought 3. So this is in the Midnight Blue shade. This is 100% acrylic yarn. I don't love it, but the finished hat that I have, that's a classic ribbed hat in this yarn, I actually really like it. I wear it all the time when I'm out walking my dog, and I know like I don't have to worry about it because it's acrylic. I'm like, I don't care if anything happens to it, like, so I don't know, it's nice. So I feel like, you know, again, it's not gonna be my most favorite thing to work on, but it's not that bad. I'm sure there's better acrylic yarns out there that are like, that just feel a little bit nicer. This definitely has that kind of like, that spongy, weird kind of, I don't know, you know? But overall, I guess it doesn't feel too bad. And when you're, well, like the finished objects, I did not have an issue with it at all. So that is going to be something I'm going to have to cast on soon, and especially this one because the classic ribbed hat by Purl Soho, while I have knit it multiple times, I'm not really a big fan of 1x1 rib. I feel like I've talked about that before. I feel like sometimes it looks a little weird, and I don't really love it, and I feel like it's hard on the wrists sometimes, and I'm going to be doing a lot of knitting, so I think I'm going to have to, I should probably get this casted on like now so that I can work on it just a little bit every day so I don't overdo it, but then it'll give me enough time to get it finished. And this one's for my dad. So this is, you know, this is just from my stash. I've had it for a while. I bought it with the intention of making the classic ribbed hat for my dad and just never got around to it. So now it's going to be a Christmas present. And then, let me open this one as well. I also had the intention of knitting a hat for my mom, and ooh, this one, this color almost feels nicer. That's weird. It feels a little bit softer and less acrylic-y. It's interesting. But again, this is also Vanna's Choice, and this is in the colorway Sage. And this one, so by the way, this is a worsted weight, so technically like it's not the right type of yarn for the classic ribbed hat, but I made it work, and I wrote down, I think I used 4mm needles. Let me double check. I know I wrote it down. I used Vanna's Choice in Oatmeal, which is a really fun tweedy color, and my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna go fix that and we'll be right back. So when I did the classic ribbed hat with the Lion brand Vanna's Choice, I was using the colorway Oatmeal, which is like a tweedy brown, and I feel like it actually looks really, really nice and I like it. And then I used US 4s to knit this. So, and then I just cast it on the same number of stitches as I think the medium size is the one that I made for myself. I'm going to be making the large size for my dad. And then for this one for my mom, okay, the pattern that I'm thinking of doing with this one is the Chesley toque, I think that's how you say it. I'm like trying to read really small font there. So it's like a lacy hat pattern. It looks like it's going to be so much fun to knit, like very engaging. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it, and it calls for worsted. So I'm going to see if this will work for that. This, I think it calls for like a DK plus a mohair, but I feel like this could work. And I think that my mom will really like it, and then it's definitely something that I probably will at some point knit for myself too. So I think that that'll be a good pattern to purchase. It's something I've been wanting to knit, like I've seen it before and was intrigued. So I'm gonna look more at the pattern. I literally just watched that Knit California video today. I'll leave it linked in the description. And so I I haven't had a chance to like look into these patterns to see like that other one that I mentioned that I looked at and was immediately like, oh, never mind, this isn't gonna work. But yeah, so that is my gift knits, my gift knitting plans. I do want to get all of them casted on in the next couple of days just to have them casted on. We'll see if I have enough. I mean, I probably have enough needles, but yeah, we'll see. But I think that would just be fun to get them all casted on so that I can kind of just start making progress on them and go, you know, work on whichever ones are like feeling like I should be working on those ones while still working on my other, you know, my sweaters and stuff. Okay. And then the only other, I think, upcoming plan, so I was kind of thinking I might make some gloves if I have time for gift knitting. I think we have enough on my plate though that like that's not gonna be feasible, but I was thinking about doing some like fingerless gloves, and I found again a lot of patterns on that Knit California video, so I think that I have some to look into. We'll see if I have the yarn for it in stash already, and I'll kind of just play around with it, see if I have the time to knit those. We'll see. I also have a test knit coming up. I don't have the yarn for it yet, and the test knit hasn't officially started. I have bought the yarn for it, and I'll talk more about that in my next podcast, because at that point I should hopefully have the yarn and will have hopefully started it. But that'll be 2 test knits going on at the same time, which I'm not, like, I know I'm gonna get both of them done, but with the gift knitting I'm like, oh no, have I bitten off more than I can chew? But also I do have pretty much all this free time right now to knit, and I have been taking advantage of that. So I've been feeling like I've been making so much progress on all of these that I'm not feeling that worried about it. So now we're gonna transition a little bit into acquisitions. No, we're gonna fully transition into acquisitions. If you are leaving me here, if you don't really like watching acquisitions, please make sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. And if you want to help out my channel by giving this video a thumbs up and also leaving a comment down below, those things help out my channel. Maybe, you know, kind of lets YouTube know that other people might like this podcast. So if you enjoyed it, please do that before you leave. And if you're sticking with me for the acquisitions, let's get into it. So doing the Never Sweater test knit, we did get a 10% off, I think, discount for woolly knits. And I had already purchased the drops Flora and Kid Silk for the test knit prior to knowing that I even got the test knit, but I knew that I wanted to knit the Never Sweater in that yarn and in that specific shade. So when she gave us the coupon code, she was like, you can also just use it even if you're not going to use it for this pattern. So I treated myself to some British wool from Woolly Knit. I got 2 cones of their their British wool. Yeah, the 4-ply British wool. So I got 2 of these, and I'm gonna be knitting the birch sweater, I'm pretty sure, with these. I still need to get the mohair to go along with it, but pretty sure I'll be doing that. I'm kind of copying pretty much, I feel like, everybody. Using like a tweedy yarn for the birch sweater. I feel like Maria, Maria, I think, from Ulan Knitwear, which is the designer of the birch sweater. She did one that was kind of a tweedy, kind of speckled looking one, and then I'm pretty sure that Alexandra from Alexandra's Gone knit a similar one, and then also Kalilah from KopyKali, more KopyKali, knit in this yarn, but a different tweed one. I think it was a little bit more of a maybe not completely white, but like it was a little bit more. This is like a warmer toned version of it, I think is what I'm trying to say. I got, this is the colorway Skada Nep. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I feel like I've never seen that word before, so I have no idea. So yeah, it's just like it's like a beigey tweed. and I got 2 because for the size that I would need, I think 1 wouldn't be quite enough. So yeah, so I have some combs, and these are not the only combs that I have acquired recently, but this was exciting to finally get in the mail. I feel like it didn't take that long to ship here, but you know, a little bit. And I don't know, on the cone it feels really soft, but still rustic, but like soft. I don't know how to describe it. So I'm excited to knit with this, but probably won't be starting the birch sweater anytime soon. And I also still would need to get the mohair for it, which I do not have and am not going to be buying soon, so it'll be a while. Okay, and then the rest of my acquisitions are from a little trip that my mom and I went on, a little day trip. So for my birthday, my mom's present to me was that she was going to take me to 3 different yarn stores and buy me a skein at each one. And that didn't quite happen. We did go to 3 yarn stores. I did end up with more than 3 skeins, and I also didn't buy from every single yarn store. I only bought from 2 of them. But we went to, I forget the name. There's a yarn store in Stanwood, Washington that we went to. I think it's called Stilly River Yarns or something like that. I will correct myself on the screen here if that was not the right name, but that store is super cute. It's a pretty small store, but the lady there, I don't know, I assume she was the owner, but she was super nice, and we had a good time like chatting with her, and it was just, yeah, it was nice. They have a lot of knitting books there. I feel like, well, yeah, I feel like a lot of yarn stores do, but I gravitated to the knitting books there, and was looking through those, so that was fun. And that was our first stop, and again, that was in Stanwood, and my mom had been there before and wanted to take me there, so and they had you know, a good selection of hand dyed, some commercial. I'm trying to remember like which commercial brands they had there, but I can't remember exactly. But I think they had some Noro there, not a ton, but like a little bit. And they had a good amount of hand dyed yarn, and so I did get some of this. Oh yeah, the name of it is Stilly River Yarns. It's on here. But this is the Trilogy Yarns, like hand dyed yak sock. And this one is in the shade Whiskey. It is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon, so sock yarn. And I just figured I would knit some like lacy or like cabled socks with this or something a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Something a little bit detailed than a you know, regular. I feel like literally all of the words just like left my brain. I'm like, do I even know how to speak English anymore? I wanted to knit a more, you know, like a lace or a cable or some sort of textured sock, some sort of pattern sock, as opposed to a vanilla sock. So yeah, and this is just this is really nice, kind of bronzy, like brown, and yeah, and it feels really nice. I don't think I've ever bought anything that has yak in it before either, so that'll be fun to try out. I am going to be looking out for a sock pattern that I want to use for that skein, because I think, yeah, I think a nice tonal hand-dyed yarn is so perfect for those like laces or cabled types of socks, so really looking forward to that. And then we went to another yarn store that I don't remember the name of, and it was in LaConner, Washington. So we were just like headed north and hitting all these yarn stores as we went. And that one was mostly commercial yarn. I think I saw like a few hand-dyed stuff, and I wasn't, obviously, like, I use both commercial and hand-dyed. But that yarn store seemed like mostly brands that I could find elsewhere. I wasn't super interested in trying a lot of like Barocco, which I know have anything against them. I just, you know, it's like you can find that at so many places, and I just didn't feel like using one of my skeins that my mom was going to buy on something like that. So we didn't end up getting anything from there, but it is a cute yarn shop. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be from like the outside, but when you walk inside, it's quite a long area, so there was more yarn there than I was thinking there would be. And then they had a lot of cute, like, oh, they had a lot of buttons there, and they also had a lot of cute, like, yarn and sheep themed, like, things, like mugs and coasters and things like that. So kind of could be a cool place to go if you're in the area ever, if you're like looking for maybe like a gift for a knitter or something that's not yarn, just like something yarn or fiber themed. It could be like a cool place to do a little gift shopping for. But we didn't end up getting anything there. My mom was looking at buttons there, but we weren't really sure what size we needed, so we kind of were just looking, but we didn't actually get anything. And then the last store that we went all the way to Anacortes, which I guess isn't really that far, but I had never been out to Anacortes before, at least that I could remember. Apparently I have been out there, but I was too young. So the first time I remember actually being out there, and I think my sister actually got married there, and I was the flower girl, and I barely remember, like, I remember being the flower girl, but like only snippets, and I don't remember it being in Anacortes. So anyways, it was kind of rainy and windy, so we didn't really like go anywhere else in Anacortes. We literally just went to the yarn store and then like left. But I was kind of wishing I could kind of walk around a little bit more and explore, because they had a lot of like just fun like food places, it looked like, so it could be kind of cool area to like walk around. But that's where my mom and I were like, I think we liked that store the best, just in terms of like it was really cool because they had mostly hand-dyed yarn, and it is called Fidalgo Yarns, and they also had some commercial yarn there as well, but it was mostly hand-dyed yarn from their their hand-dyed yarn. And so I got a little bit of both. So I purchased 2 things from there, and then my mom purchased the rest. So this is one of the things that my mom got for me. She kind of went over her 3 skein limit, but it's, you know, whatever. So I got this little kit it's the Alaska hat, and it is by, I believe it's by the woman that hand dyes the yarn. The pattern is and it's Camille, and it's a French last name that I am gonna butcher so badly, so I'm not going to say it. I will put it on the screen because I don't wanna butcher that, and I'm not great with French words. Okay, and I just want to kind of see if I can, because I want to open it and like show you guys, and I just haven't gotten around to opening it yet. So it just came in this kind of cute little thing. Like I feel like you could get this for somebody and it'd be like a little stocking stuffer or something, or just a present. I mean, it's a full knitting kit, so it comes with like some beads, which I thought was really cool. And I was looking at the sample of this that they had. It's just very Christmassy, but you can also do it in other colors to make it not Christmas themed. And let's see, so there's some yarn here that I think you pull from the center, so it starts as red, and then that will be the brim of the hat. Ooh. And then the gray is gonna be the background of the hat, and then the green is like the trees that are on the hat. And so let me just, yes, so it's like the Christmas Alaska instructions. And then these beads are like little ornaments that you put on the tree. Sorry, that's so cute. Yeah, and it says you draw from the center, so you begin with the red, and then you save a little bit of the red if you want to make a multicolored pom-pom, but you can also just do the pom-pom in the green, I think. Depends on what you want. And this is a color work pattern. So I'm not going to show you the pattern. I'm just going to show you. I'll probably have also popped a better picture, like a, you know, a picture on the screen so you can see it better. But this is what it looks like. So there's like color work. And then if you use like a hand-dyed yarn that's like variegated, the background would be like something cool like that. So they had a few of these kits. So ones that like were, you know, not Christmas themed, and then they had the Christmas themed one, which I just thought was so cool. So I decided I wanted to use it. And yeah, so that was the hand-dyed yarn that we got. They also had cones there, and I'm a sucker for yarn cones. Who isn't? I mean, probably some people aren't into them, but I love them. So my mom bought me 2 cones of the Harrisville Designs Shetland cones, and this is the Topaz colorway. One of them looks a lot smaller, but I think it's like it was just wound a lot tighter. But these are approximately 900 yards each, so they are, how many grams? Oh, 228 grams. So they're not as big as like other cones, like as like the woolly knit cones, for example. But the lady there said that she did get a sweater quantity's worth from 2 cones, and I was kind of like thinking about it because the lady that told me that was thinner than I am. So I'm like, will I be able to get it? But I think it just depends on if I add mohair to it, which I probably will. I probably could get a sweater quantity, it just depends on the pattern. But yeah, so this is a really cute like nice fall colorway, so I don't know what I'm gonna knit with it yet, but really excited for this. And I guess I should kind of show you closer up. It's got, you know, some depth to it, like different types of oranges. There's a little bit of like some browns and some golds in here as well, so it's, you know, gives it a nice kind of a rich like depth to it. And then I couldn't pick between that color and this color, so I purchased these because it was basically $50 for 2, and you can, you know, maybe get a sweater quantity depending on size. And this is in the Water Lily colorway. Yes. And I don't know, I just like, it was so beautiful, and I've been really wanting pink yarn lately, so I don't know. Oops. So, yeah, so I purchased these, and I just, yeah, feel like my stash is ready for me to kind of like not buy yarn for a while. Like, I feel like, you know, I have acquired a good amount, and yeah, I just feel like I have quite a few sweater quantities worth of things that I should be set for a good long while, and I won't have to feel like I need to buy yarn a ton. So I do want to cast this on soon because I would love to work on it during the holidays. So I might cast this on soon, and then that'll be my like fun color work project, since I'm not going to be working on my Autumn Doodle Cowl right now. So yeah, I'm going to probably cast this on. I don't know how far I'll get with all of the gift knitting. So I don't know how far I will actually get with all of the gift knitting, but I do want to work on this during, you know, the holidays. I just think it'd be really cute, really fun, very seasonally appropriate, and I just think, yeah, it'll be a nice thing to have on the needles. So yeah, that is another little future plan that I'll be casting on soon, hopefully. Am I a little ambitious? Yes. That's okay. That is it. That is all I have. And after kind of talking through my future plans, like, I'm really excited, and I really just want to cast. I have like cast on itis now, so that's awesome because I need it. Get some things casted on. Alright, so that is it for this podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it gave you something to watch while you're, you know, working away on your knits. Let me know what your gift knitting plans are, if you have any, and if you are not gift knitting for other people, that is okay too. Let me know what you worked on while watching this. And yeah, Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and rest of your week. If you are, if you do get some time off for Thanksgiving, I hope you're having an absolute amazing time. And other than that, I will see you in my next podcast or in my next vlog, whichever one comes first. So probably a vlog. I hope you have a fantastic time with your knitting, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Alright, this is a song that I wrote about falling too fast, but I wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't wanna lose my grounding, so you catch me not responding, and I press my lips together so you don't find any answer.